Yo guys, it's Scaftafel from Hygel again with a short video on macros. A lot of you guys have been asking, so I'm gonna show a few of those. And wait, what the fuck? Hang on. Okay, sorry, you didn't see that. Okay, so I'm gonna show you some of my macros. I don't have a whole ton. The first one is very simple. It's a Starfall Macro. If you use the on-use PvP trinket, just put your gear slot in there, and so it will be slot number 13 or 14 depending which slot you have it in, and it's a great way to control your damage. So personally I use the Volcano trinket, but sometimes I do switch it out for FC kills. So yeah, simple macro. And this is a really awesome mouseover macro. It's just simply a mouseover Cyclone macro, and it is tricky though. You can easily fuck up and cyclone the wrong person. I've done that a few times, but anyway, have a look at that. Use it. It's great for mousing over unit frames if you want to cyclone a certain target in Gladius, that sort of stuff. So that's, yeah, pretty flippin' awesome mouseover macro, I think, anyway. This is one of my favorite macros. It's a Faerie Fire macro. So basically you're stealthed on the lumber mill node and you know that there's a rogue somewhere. You can stay stealth and spam this macro, and it basically clears your target and tries to Faerie Fire the closest target. And it's exactly the same as what they do, what rogues do with their sap macro. So they don't know where you are, but they're spamming their sap macro and they can get you. Well, you can do the same thing, but with Faerie Fire, and rogues love Faerie Fire. So, but anyway, so basically it stops them from opening up on you and then getting a ninja cap, and then your team freaking out on you and calling you a dumb shit for letting a rogue ninja cap on you. A really quick, simple one, set up an Innervate macro for your healer in 2s or 3s or 5s, whatever you have it. It basically stops you from having to actually click on your healer and then click on your Innervate button. So if you just macro it, then it's just hit one button or keybind, whatever, and your healer is set. So I think it's a really awesome macro anyway. So this is actually my favorite. It's a root and solar beam macro. This is such a fucking amazing macro. Basically, the tricky part is you have to have the person targeted already, otherwise you can end up beaming the wrong person. So you have a holy paladin in an RBG, you target him. If you're standing still, you can root him first and then solar beam. Or if you're moving around, it just solar beams them. It doesn't root, because obviously you can't root while you're moving. So either way, you're going to get a solar beam on the fucker. If you get the solar beam on him first, and because you're moving you can't root him, but then you stop for a second, then you can root him in the solar beam. It happens so many times. It's so easy. It's such an awesome macro. I love the solar beam spell, and I'm like ecstatic that Blizzard gave it to us. I hope to God they don't take it away. But anyway, it's such an easy, simple macro, and it is so effective. So here's a quick view at the mouseover Cyclone. Yeah, I do have him targeted here, but I didn't have to actually click on him. All I did was mouse over him and boom, cyclone him. Look at that, fucker can't move. Okay, so for this one you can see I'm throwing out my mushrooms. I have my mushrooms keybound to my Z key, and then to blow them up I Control Z. Really easy to get to. You can see here I stopped to root him, mouse over, and solar beam him. And sure, okay, I pop Starfall, which is probably going to pop him out of the roots, whatever, but for the purpose of this it shows you how the mouse over solar beam works. So yeah.
Oh shit.
So I had my shaman friend jump on his rogue to show you guys the Faerie Fire macro. Like I said, it works exactly like how rogues try to sap people at a flag node if they don't know where you are. So I'm stealthed here and I'm spamming my F2 button. That's what I have it bound to. And here's where I pop him out, and you can see the Faerie Fire icon show over top of him with my plate buffs add-on. And yeah, so he can't do anything about it. He'd have to, I think, cloak or whatever to get it off. And so, yeah. Anyway, I didn't get to finish off that Typhoon. That was a huge cock block. I wish he didn't do that. Anyway, so there you go. Mouse over, cycloned him, and healed myself up, whatever. It's pretty awesome. Now you can school rogues at their own game. So I guess some quick keybinds. Basically, my mouse over Cyclone is bound to my thumb button on my mouse. My solar beam / roots button is bound to my middle scroll wheel button. So you press that in. I have other things. I use a shift thumb button to get into travel form. Shift right button to flip into Boomkin form. I use things like that. I already told you about my mushrooms. I told you about Faerie Fire. I mean, those are just basics. The rest is up to you. Whatever is convenient for you. So, I have my bark skin at an easy to get to button, and it's just whatever works. So, anyway, don't necessarily go off of exactly what I say. But if you do have any other questions about what I have bound to what, I know that I've missed some, so just send me a message, ask me what I use for, you know, such and such a button, and yeah, like I hope this video kind of gave you guys a little bit of insight on how I play my Boomkin. I'm open to suggestions and criticisms, so please, if you have better ideas for certain things, please let me know. I always check my YouTube inbox, so anything you have there, just send me a question or comment, or leave it on the video, post it down below, whatever. I'm a big girl, I can handle trolls, I don't really care, so anyway, you guys are awesome, and yeah, cheers!